Alright, today I'm going to be talking to you guys about SSHing into your iPod Touch or iPhone. Anybody who's new to the jailbreak community may have heard of SSHing, SSH, but doesn't know what it is. So basically, to SSH is using a program on your computer called WinSCP for Windows, and then there's like CyberDuck, or I don't even know what it's called for Mac. So I'm just going to be talking about it for Windows. So basically with this program WinSCP, you can look at and edit all the files inside of your iPod Touch or iPhone. So you can imagine that's really useful. So if you're trying to edit an application or a theme or the wallpaper, anything like that, you can change it. So first off, you need a program called WinSCP, which I'm going to open up here. And I'll have a download link in the description somewhere that you can find a download. And so here you can see, first off, you need to have your iPod on, okay? So it needs to stay on because you need the Wi-Fi. It runs through your Wi-Fi. So unfortunately, if you don't have Wi-Fi, I don't think this is going to work, which is the unfortunate thing about SSHing. So for the host name, to find that, you want to go into Settings. Alright, so you're in Settings, and go to Wi-Fi. And you're going to find the Wi-Fi network that you're connected to, and you're going to hit the blue button. And that's going to bring up all this information. And for the host name here on WinSCP, that is your IP address that shows up in this section, so the top thing. And so you enter that. It's usually going to be about a 10-ish digit number, and you're going to enter that. So I've entered my IP address, and the username and the password are the same for all iPod Touches and iPhones. The username is root, like a tree root, and the password is alpine. So then you can hit login to login or save to save all that information. You don't need to put anything else in, but the save is just convenient. But I'm just going to log in, and it should come up searching for host, blah blah blah, and this screen will pop up. So I'm just going to zoom out a little bit. So here you can see this is the SSH, WinSCP, whatever screen. So most of the things that you're going to want to edit are in private var directory. So we're going to go to that. You can just change around where you are by pressing these things up here. And you can see that on this side of the screen is your iPod's side. And this side right over here, that's your computer's side. So you can interchange documents and files, and you can also edit files. So, first thing we're going to do is talk about how to put a ROM onto your iPhone or iPod Touch. So, for instance, if you have the program GPS phone or Nest for iPhone or whatever those things are, I have GPS phone, that's the only one that I use for the emulators. So here I've got my ROM. So you're going to want to go to private var, mobile, and media, and then there should be a section that says ROMs if you have that file in there. So if it isn't in there for some reason for an emulator, then you need to create a file that says ROMs, ROM with capitals and then S with non-capitals. You go in there, and depending on whatever your emulator is, from in my case it's GBA games, so you have to create a file that says GBA, just a regular folder. Go in there, and here you can see I've got a couple ROMs. I've got a ROM here, leaf green, and I've got a save file for it. So you can use save files and ROMs in there. And you also need a GBA BIOS bin file. It's easy to get one, just look on Google to download one. And you usually need a BIOS file for any of those emulators. So there you can see all that stuff. We're not going to put this ROM in there because I already have it. and so that's how you add in a ROM. So it's private var mobile media ROMs, and then whatever your system is, so GBA for instance. Alright, so go back to private var, since that's where most of the information is. And the next thing we're going to talk about is editing a theme. So if you have Cydia, which most people do, and you have Winterboard for your themes, then you're going to go into private var stash themes folder voice crack there, folder, and in there is all your themes. So every theme that you have is going to be the name of it dot theme. So whenever you want to put a theme in there, it has to be dot theme folder. I don't know why it is, but that's just the way that Winterboard is set up. So you have to have it like that. So let's say we want to edit my Suave theme here that I've got. I've been messing around with it a little bit. If I want to change the background, you just look at this image called wallpaper.png. Most of the image files on the iPod Touch and iPhone are PNG images, so I don't know why. I mean, it's just like it's like JPEG. It's just a type of image file, and that's the type that it uses. So wallpaper, that's the background. Lock background, that's the lock background. You've got the dock, and for this info.playlist thing, that is just information regarding, like, I don't know, a calendar app or an on-screen weather app, so stuff that shows you weather and calendar stuff without going into those apps, that kind of stuff. So that controls it. The DS store thing, I don't know what that is. UI images, that's stuff like page indicators and pop-up alerts, stuff like that. Stack, whatever, don't worry about that. Icons, that's where all your icons are going to be, and you can see them, they're all PNG files. Folders, that's usually like stuff that edits app images and whatnot in the theme, so generally you're not going to be doing anything with that. And bundles is kind of like UI images, it just has stuff to do with other images on the iPhone. And also you can see, like, I've got a weather app thing, and all the images for that are in here. So that's how you edit a theme. And just remember one thing, that you're always going to need that dot theme at the end for the themes folder, otherwise it won't recognize it. And you also need to make sure that you use proper like casing and stuff. So where you need a uppercase, you need to put in uppercase, and a lowercase needs to be in a lowercase, because names are very important in these files. If it doesn't have the correct name, then it won't do what you want. So just remember that. So we'll go back to private var, and one thing that's kind of less common that you might want to edit is applications, but some people still do edit those, especially if I'll just show you guys this really cool app that I've got that actually works as a theme. It's called Snow Leopard HTML, and you can see that this is actually an app.